All right, I think we are live. Hello. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. I haven't been on a Thursday in a while, so feels a little exciting. But for those of you guys who are new here, I'm Kate Horning. I am a chef and nutritionist, and I'm the creator of A Healthy Passion, which is a meal planning app that's designed to help busy women just like you know exactly how to eat to reach your health and fitness goals. And it ties in perfectly with carb cycling. We've got a carb cycling option on there, so if you guys are new to carb cycling, wanting to get started, needing a little help, definitely check out ahealthypassion.com. I'll link it in the comments after this video. So if you're watching the replay, check it out. But you literally put in some information, height, weight, age, activity level, and it calculates your exact numbers to help you get to your goal. So it is a game changer. And the recipe we're making tonight will be in the app next week. So if you want the full recipe with all the instructions and details, it'll be in there. But if you guys want to cook along with me, we're making my peanut noodles with shrimp and broccoli. Over the next couple weeks, I told you guys earlier, I'm going to start a 15-minute dinner series, so 15-minute family-friendly meals that you guys can make on even the busiest of weeknights. So the first one of the series is going to be my peanut noodles. These should come together in about 10 minutes. Really, it's just boiling the noodles, steaming the veggies, making the sauce. So really great for a busy weeknight. Should be a family-friendly meal. I feel like it's time to just dive right in. So I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna use and then we'll start cooking. So the first ingredient are pad thai noodles. So you can use any noodle for this. You could use fettuccine, spaghetti, you could use whole wheat pasta. I have a brown rice pad thai noodle. It's just what I have on hand, and I love these noodles. They're really great. I get them at Kroger. I don't know if you guys can see. You should be able to get them at your Asian market and really at any grocery store. So that is what I'm using. I've got broccoli, so shrimp and broccoli are my two add-ins. You could use any vegetable, so green beans would work in this, zucchini, Brussels sprouts, and then any protein. Chicken would be delicious. I've got shrimp, and I've only got one portion of shrimp, a quarter pound. I would do a half pound in the full recipe, but we're actually having burgers for dinner tonight, so I didn't want to make a ton. So I've got that. I've got green onion, some ginger, and garlic. So that's kind of my fresh ingredients. And then to make the peanut sauce, I've got, of course, peanut butter, soy sauce. So we're gonna take that and mix it together. I've got some sesame oil. I've got some rice vinegar. I've got some honey for a little sweetness. You could also use maple syrup or brown sugar. And then I've got sambal sauce, which is like a chili sauce that you can find really at any grocery store. So that is it. Again, I feel like Asian dishes tend to have a good bit of ingredients in the sauce, but the actual recipe in and of itself is very, very simple. So first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and get our broccoli in the steamer. So I've got a steamer basket over some boiling water. I'm just gonna take my broccoli, cut off the bottoms, and then just sort of drop it in. I'm actually gonna steam my broccoli and shrimp together. Broccoli takes longer, so I'll get it started first. But this is great as well because it has like one bowl and 2 pots and minimal cleanup. So again, if you're, wanting to eat healthier and you're like, I do want to eat healthier, I just don't have the time. I do have a lot of meals just like this inside the app that are 15 minutes. They're easy. They are delicious. They're going to make your whole family happy, and you don't have to feel like you're, not able to stay on track or do your best because of time. So, if you are hesitant to start cooking from scratch, I can promise I often call myself a lazy cook. I love to cook. It lights me up. I adore it. But after a busy day, I want easy. And to me, it's more about the cleanup. I don't want a lot of dirty dishes. So, okay. So I'm going to take my white parts of my green onions and discard them. And I'm taking the green parts and just cutting them on a bias. This is just going to be garnished. I don't know why I'm doing it first, to be honest. But we're just going to cut that up. It was in front of me, and I think I just grabbed it. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is drop my noodles. So I've got my broccoli steaming. Noodles should take about 5 minutes to cook. So I'm going to kind of get them in and then taste them. The thing I love about any sort of pasta, really, is it's a very quick meal. I try to make my pasta dishes, like the time it takes the pasta to cook is the time it takes the dish to make. So that way it comes together, Typical pasta will take about 8 minutes to cook, but these are a little quicker. Okay, so let's make our sauce. So I've got a little cup here. I'm using an immersion blender. You could use a small food processor. You could use a full blender, or you could just do it, whisk it together by hand. I like how creamy the immersion blender makes it, so that's what I'm using. But I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 small or 1 large garlic cloves, and it's all just gonna kind of blend together. And then I'm gonna add about a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger. And if you guys aren't using fresh ginger, it can be a little intimidating but honestly, it's so delicious. It has so much good flavor. It's actually really good for your digestion as well, so it's got some health benefits. I like to do ginger tea. I don't peel it really. I just kind of take my knife and go around and get the peel off, but you can peel it with a peeler if you want to take the time. And I saw a comment pop up, but it's kind of far away. The only problem with my counter is it's a little far, so it's hard for me to see comments, but please comment anyways. I'll respond back to you after this. Okay, ginger went in. Now we need our peanut butter. I want a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. I'm gonna take, and this is not an ingredient I would typically eyeball or recommend you eyeball, but I have scooped out a 1/4 cup of peanut butter more times than I'm willing to admit. So I am going to do it by eyeballing it, but peanut butter is one of those things I highly recommend measuring because it does add up quickly. Okay, so a 1/4 cup of peanut butter, and I gotta keep an eye on these noodles, y'all. I'm notorious for forgetting about these guys and overcooking them. And these are those weird, it's kind of one of those things where you cook it for like 3 or 4 minutes and then you gotta just taste. So 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or tamari. I love tamari for a gluten-free option. I had just enough, I wasn't sure. Okay, so that's gonna go in, stick that in the sink. 2 tablespoons of water, so I've got some water here. I prefer warm water, but can't run them all. Tablespoon of rice vinegar, and this is actually a really good sauce to make as well if you guys like spring rolls. I don't know if y'all are spring roll fans. I am. I tend to make this for spring rolls as well. Teaspoon of sesame oil. Tablespoon of sambal. I like it spicy, so I tend to add a generous tablespoon, but add as little or as much as you like of this. This really doesn't affect the calories a whole lot. And then a tablespoon of honey for sweetness. That is a tip I have. Oof, it's coming out slow. If you're trying to get your kids to eat healthier, kids love sweet. So roasting vegetables brings out the natural sweetness. Adding honey to sauces, you know, even like a little brown sugar here and there. It helps their palate to adjust to healthier foods when it's a little sweet. Okay, so at this point, my broccoli is looking good. I'm gonna give my noodles a taste because I don't want to overcook them, and they do feel like they're getting close. That was attractive, I know. Close, not quite. Broccoli's close. I don't like it to be too far along, so I'm gonna take my shrimp and just kind of toss it in the steamer basket. I've just got peeled shrimp here. I left the tail on because I like the way it looks, but you could take it off if you're not a fan of having to eat slowly because you're peeling your shrimp. Okay, so that's gonna go in. It's gonna steam for a minute or 2 just to kind of let the shrimp cook through. And while that happens, I've got my little immersion blender and I'm gonna try okay, we are looking good without making too much of a mess. Then you want to kind of shake it so your sauce all comes off because you don't want to waste. And then I'm going to pop this little guy off. And I like to just throw this in the sink and then into the dishwasher. And y'all can see my little peanut sauce looks so good. I mean, my work here is done. Just waiting on the noodles and waiting on the shrimp is almost done. While that happens, I, of course, cannot have a meal without a wine pairing or basically just whatever wine I want to drink with it. Tonight I'm actually doing one of our 14K bubblies. So I feel like bubbly goes really well with Asian cuisine. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But this is a bubbly rosé, and I don't know if these are still in stock. I think they are out, but they come in and out all the time. If you see them in stock, grab them. These low sugar wines are awesome. They're so good to take like golfing, camping, hiking. Ooh, and that's gonna pair so good with my dinner. Okay, so noodles should be done. Don't you love a meal where the hardest part is cooking noodles? And I smell the shrimp too. It's probably done. Those are good. Shrimp looks good, so I'm gonna drain these guys off. Dang, it's heavier than I thought it was. And just toss it into a bowl. And if you're wondering, 4 ounces of noodles is what I did. So essentially 2 portions of the noodles. And then I'm gonna turn off my little shrimp and broccoli. Smells so good. I don't know, for some reason like steamed shrimp just is nostalgic for me. I don't think I grew up eating it, but it's just, I don't know. It smells so good to me. So I'm gonna add that in. Oop. That's hot. FYI. Oop. I think I probably need a bigger bowl too. I didn't really think that through, but we will make it work. And then essentially, you are just going to toss everybody together. And to be honest, actually, now that I'm thinking it through, I would probably put my noodles in a bowl. I told you all this before. A lot of this is like on the fly. I come up with an idea, I test it out. If it works, I retest it, and then I add to the app. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the shrimp and broccoli separate, because I don't want the broccoli to like break down. Steamed broccoli, I mean, this is not overcooked at all, but it's still, when you toss it, I feel like it tends to kind of break up. So I want to coat the pasta, or the noodles, with my peanut sauce first, and then we'll add the goodness on top. Okay, and I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt just because there's no real seasoning on this. So I'm gonna set that aside. And then I'm gonna add my peanut sauce, which I'm gonna add probably half of it, or 3/4 of it, and toss it together, and then we can drizzle a little more too. And it smells so good when that ginger, that fresh ginger hits that hot noodle. And honestly, this would be enough sauce probably for 6 ounces of noodles, so I might up the portion size a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty. Now, I don't have the right plate, I don't think. We'll do this guy. Again, minor details that I did not plan for, but what we're gonna do is we're going to, I don't know if you guys can hear my cat, she wants dinner. I'm gonna plate up my noodles with the peanut sauce first, and then I'm gonna get fresh tongs, and we'll do the steamed broccoli kind of like this. I feel like that looks prettier. Okay, so we got our broccoli, then we got our shrimp, which again, I would take the tails off if I was serving this to my family, because I know they would complain. And then the green onions right over top. And again, you could probably drizzle that extra peanut sauce if you want, but I'm gonna show you all this. How good does that look, right? And it is 5:43, so it took me 13 minutes. Again, I talked for probably 5, so under 10 minutes. And I'm gonna taste out of this bowl because I do want to shoot a picture for, just in case I want to retest it. Okay, so I got a little shrimp, I got a little broccoli. I'm gonna go in for the noodles first. And I would, almost forgot the best part, the green onions. I would actually probably add some red pepper flakes to mine, but I know y'all aren't quite as crazy as me. Wow, that fresh ginger. Oh, it's got a kick. Okay, so we might be dialing back the sambal for people who aren't super into spicy food. Maybe a half tablespoon. Man, that's good. Okay, I've got the shrimp and broccoli now. Yum. There's so much flavor from that ginger, the garlic, the sambal sauce. The soy sauce is salty. The peanut is nutty. Obviously, amazing. Let's see how I do with my wine pairing. I mean, so good. I will link the Facebook group for this wine as well. Low sugar wine. No added sugar, low carbs. So good. If y'all like wine, come hang out over there. We have a lot of fun. I mean, okay. I was a little bit like stressed out today trying to come up with an idea. I'm glad this popped into my head because this was so good. I hope you guys make it. Stay tuned for next week. I will probably cook earlier in the week, either Tuesday or Wednesday next week, and do another 15-minute or less meal that's family friendly, that will be inside of Healthy Passion. And I hope you guys have an awesome night. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.